computer. Yeah.
Day four of the Messenger Bootcamp. John and his business partner, Ollie the legend. He joined me in Rome. We are in Rome right now together and ready to rock and roll with day 4, leading up tomorrow to the big one, day 5. We're also going to talk about ads and more advanced stuff. So I know, guys, you are loving the bootcamp. I received so many messages. So today it's onboarding. And John is ready to rock and roll as always.
I certainly am. We can see loads of people joining. So yeah, thank you very much, Vincenzo and Ollie. So yeah, as Vincenzo said, Ollie is my business partner at Superstar Bots. I never even knew that Vincenzo and Ollie were dating, and now they're living together in Rome.
So, surprise.
Oh my God, payback is coming your way, mate. Payback is coming your way.
Where is everyone watching from tonight? We said hello. We've got Anthony from South Africa, Mid Wales. Love Wales, absolutely love Wales, only a couple of hours away. Where is everyone tonight? Obviously, we've got the boys over in Rome there. I've got a cat wandering around behind me. Keith, you're over towards Liverpool, are you? Who knows? Come on, let's UK, USA, awesome. Cape Cod, Bournemouth. Probably take me longer to get to Cape Cod than it would Bournemouth. Vancouver, Mexico, Antwerp, Chicago. Right, cool. So Marion's down in Kent. Awesome. So tonight, I'm going to go through a couple of the questions that we've had so far. Hi, Ruth from Tennessee, Paige from South Africa, Abdul from London. I'm going to just a couple of the questions that have popped up. We're going to talk GDPR to start with. Kimberly from Scotland, the Netherlands, everywhere. I'm going to talk about default replies. So some of the questions that have come up. Why is that bumblebee on the wall? So as Ollie calls it a wasp, I'm just letting me get this right. So this here is the Manchester bee, and this is it's very specific design of bee. And ever since the bombings in Manchester, this is sort of really researched, but it's to do with Manchester's industrial past, as in the worker bee. So it's not a wasp, it is a worker bee. Switzerland, France, there we go. Right, so yeah. Let's talk GDPR, because somebody said, I've moved from the States, I'm now working in Europe. What the hell is GDPR about? And is what we're doing, how do we stay within those rules? Now, the simple thing is that with regards to GDPR, the stuff that you're doing at the moment, the information is staying within Facebook and ManyChat. So you're not actually taking data off anywhere. When somebody actually first engaged with your bot, so hi to Finland, hi to France, hi to Hungary, yeah, when somebody first engaged, they actually opt in, and there is writing there that says by going any further, then you give this business permission to see various bits of data. Now, if you're going to export that data, you do need to tell people what you're doing. So if you're saving an email address, tell people, just like you would opting in for an email address, what you're going to use it for. And if people are going to say, I want you to stop emailing me, just make sure that they are able to do that. The data itself, certainly if you're in Europe, does not leave the European zone. So I believe that Facebook's servers for this are actually based in Ireland. And so many chats actually. So all the data does not leave the European zone, which makes life a lot easier for us. So unless you're doing anything really out of the ordinary, GDPR is covered. But if you're going to export it to somewhere, say that you do, say what the purpose is, or that people opt in for email marketing. So now the other thing that was asked is that someone had been onto one of my other pages and they had seen this message where they typed something in and it said, this is a bot you're talking to, but if you want to speak to me, then here's how you can go about doing that. And that is in your default reply. So it's not something we've particularly touched on. I've mentioned it, but I'm going to head over and show you the default reply first of all, before we then get into building our sequence. Now, I've put a lot of this content together already, so we're going to do a little bit of building tonight, but we're going to talk about broadcasts and one-time notifications and how to structure and keep people talking to you. So not quite as technical tonight, I don't think. Right, so default reply, it sits within Messenger because we're talking about the Messenger system. And the default reply is in here. So I'm just going to hit edit. So you can just edit this flow. And at the moment it says page name. So the page name is Messenger Bootcamp, realize in one day. If you want to ask something, just press the talk to human button. And if it just says talk to human. So you can edit this. And whenever somebody types something which is outside of the automation, they will receive this. At the moment it's enabled and it fires once every 24 hours. You can have it to fire every time. That can get a little bit messy. So just really have a think about what you want to say if people message the page outside of that. So it could be, do we give people an option to go to products or back into the opportunity, or are you a team member, or whatever we want to say on this, and then give people options to go to those other flows. So the default reply is really, really handy, but have a think what you want to say in that and what you want people to do, whether it is, do we just have a conversation? If you're really automating everything, you're putting thousands of people through, you probably don't want everyone to have a conversation with you. Right, let's talk then broadcasting. And the first thing I want to do is talk about how we structure this. So I've just got the whiteboard here, which I'm going to bring over and show you first of all. So I'm going to stop this share. Any other questions before I get started on this? Or are we good to go? Give me a thumbs up if we're ready to get into this tonight. Yep, I can see at least one thumbs up, so that person's going for it. So let's make sure the lights aren't on the content of the board. So try and move this across. Right, I don't know if I can. There's a load of light from the window on this, so I'll see if I can move it to there. I know the light's on it, unfortunately, but I can't do a great deal about that one. So this is how we're going to structure this. I'm sorry if the light's in the way. The first thing we need to do is get an opt-in to our sequence. Now think, yeah, old school, totally old school. Think about this. Although I'm putting this together as an onboarding sequence, you could use it for for a challenge, or a product challenge, or a weight loss challenge, or a save energy challenge, or whatever challenge you want. It works in exactly the same way. It's just what we're looking to build is a sequence of messages that get people engaging before perhaps you upsell or you get them to do something. But what we're doing tonight is team onboarding. So we get them to opt in, and I'm going to show you how to use that one-time notification so that we can get everyone to opt in, and then let's say get people opting in for 10 days, and then everyone's going to start on the following Monday. We're then going to go to broadcast. So we're going to start talking broadcasts tonight and how to use those properly using one-time notifications, which we all set up on day one. Then we're going to go how to deliver day one, where our sequence starts. And then we're going to talk about how we ensure the engagement all the way through it and keep our 24-hour window open. Right, so we can get rid of that and go back to screen sharing. Now, I'm going to show you what I've put together so far on ManyChat. I'm only going to build one day of this 5-day sequence. So let's go back to the desktop. Move my light out of the way of my other screen. So into automations, team onboarding. So you'll see I've done day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Now the content that's been put in here, Fraser Brooks has given us this content tonight. So this is a little sequence of things that are very generic that anyone could do. Actually, what we're planning to do is put a full pack of everything that I've gone through with you. So template everything up, add more to it, put more into it, transcripts of everything, actually hopefully get something recorded with regards to this onboarding sequence that Fraser's done, and give you the opportunity to get hold of this maybe over the weekend, Monday, something like that. So lots of, what happened? So, you know, if you're struggling to hold this, I don't know why my mail keeps on opening all the time on here. There you go. If you have struggled a little bit to keep up with some of this stuff, there is a chance to actually just be able to copy the whole thing straight onto your page, plus have a load of other content and things that are going to go with it. We'll come on to that at another time, but let's put this together. So the way this works is, the first thing we're going to build is that opt-in. So let's create our new flow. Remember, that's behind my head somewhere, and we'll call this opt-in. And there could be various starting steps to this. So we'll add a trigger. Remember, we were doing these last night, and let's put we can put a URL trigger into this. And we can put perhaps a keyword. So if the keyword is on board, then it's going to trigger the start of our opt-in. So, other, because people have just opted in, we don't need to add any sort of tags to this. Let's just put something generic in here because I kind of want to demonstrate how this actually works first of all. So, you're taking action, first name. I need you to tap notify me below so that I can contact you as soon as the 5-day you can word this how you like. So I can contact you as soon as the 5-day getting started challenge begins. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, can we go slower? Really, I'm just showing you how we could possibly start this off. We're not actually at the bit which makes all the difference. So what I'm doing in this first message is telling people that I need to get them to click notify me below. Okay? Now look here, if you have connected your one-time notification up properly on your Facebook page, if you have, and it's not showing, then you would go to settings and refresh permissions. If anything breaks, that's the magic button. Go and hit that first. That's the same as, have you tried turning it off and then back on again when, as far as bots go, right? So that's the first thing you do if something isn't working. Where were we? Team onboarding. So we're doing the opt-in. So this is available. If it's grayed out and not there, that's how you know it's not connected properly. So I'm going to click this, and you'll see this looks slightly different here. And this is quite a special type of message. So I never put a lot of text in this one. You can't use personalization like first names. You can't use emojis. You can't put a great deal of text in there, whereas this you can say as much as you like. So click below and it's notify me. I'm going to put a topic in there. So onboarding, new topic, click notify me. I'm going to send that other message. Great. Catch you soon. That's done. Yeah, you can go back and have a look through this. Don't think you've got to follow this in real time. So just as Jeff has said. So we can publish this now. And this was our first part. We're getting that opt-in message. Now, I'm going to just take this screen down for 1 second because this bit is possibly the confusing element, and we're going to just delve into this 24-hour window a little bit. So from the moment somebody engages, and that would be clicking your URL, messaging the page, or clicking a button or quick reply that has a text response. So clicking through to your calendar, clicking through to your website by a button does not count. But what happens when they take any of those actions I've just mentioned, URL, messaging the page, clicking one of the buttons in your messages that has a text box reply, those open that 24-hour window up again, unless you have a specific tag. Now, there are several tags when we look at messages in here. So if I just open this up and go back onto sharing a screen, and I'm not going to go in loads of depth with this because it does start getting a bit tricky. But we've put other at the top of this. So other is the tag that goes onto every message, and it will go to everyone who is within the 24-hour window. If your prospect is not within that window, so say it's a month later and you just think I'm going to send them a message and the tag is other, it won't get sent. ManyChat will try and keep you out of trouble by not sending the message because it goes against the terms of service. The other things that we have are post-purchase update. That is, let's say someone's bought a product off you. You could message them with a post-purchase update, say, your purchase is confirmed, I'll let you know when it's been shipped. And then you can message them again. It's been shipped. They are not promotional messages. Yeah? So these tags are not non-promotional, strictly non-promotional. So you can give people an update on a purchase. Yeah? Don't think you can work around the rules. Confirmed event update. So reminder of an event or an appointment. Confirmation of a reservation. Transportation schedule update. So let's say you registered for Success Summit and there's a load of roadworks on one of the motorways on the way in. We could message everyone that's bought a ticket saying, just an update for you that there are roadworks on this way in, maybe find a different way or here's a different way. That's a confirmed event update. Account update is a change to someone's account details. Really not relevant to anything that we're doing or other. But now look at what we've actually got as well. Onboarding. So this sits down here, and this is a one-time notification tag. So I can send a message to anyone that has opted in here outside of that 24-hour window. That's why it's so important that we get this tag. Yeah, for anyone that we want to message down the line somewhere. So on my chatbots and automation page, when people have opted in for, like a lead magnet or a giveaway or something like that, I always say, whilst you're here, if I'm doing a live event in the next couple of months, can I notify you when I'm doing it? If so, click notify me below. So it's a little bit vague, but they are opting in for something very specific and giving me specific consent to go back and message them. And I can do that whenever I want, because you can only do it once, including the title, one-time notification. Once you've used it on somebody, it's removed from their profile, if you like. But you can do that. And in fact, let's test something out, shall we? I'm going to add another trigger to this. Who's watching on the phone? Just out of interest. Just give me a thumbs up if people are watching on the phone, or type in that you watch it on your phone. Right, come on, why is this? There we go, add a trigger. Or do you have your phone handy that you can get up to your screen with if you're watching on a desktop or something like that? Only need a few people to do this, but we're going to add a QR code to this. So let's download that. See if I can. Let's see if I can put that across onto this other screen. No. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing this one. So if you can do, what I want you to do is, let's test this out now. If anyone can, scan this QR code and click the notify me. So I just need a couple of people to do that for me. Now I'm going to take this down. Yeah, so I've got at least one person that's done it. And then let's go to our audience. And we can see now that we've got Christian, I'm going to pronounce this really badly, Jessa, sorry, Marion, Angela, Yoni, all opted in. Yeah, so they have now got this one-time notification tag. So let's move on to the next bit. Yep, I'll share my screen. So you can see here that I've just segmented my audience. So here's my whole audience. So all of you that have gone and tested this out before, but look over here, one-time notifications as part of my audience. And if I click on that, onboarding, it's going to go slow, just refresh it. There's 13 of you now. So all of you guys that have opted in have now got the one-time notification onboarding. Now let's have a look what we do with that. So let's go back to our flows. So remember, what was the next step in this sequence? The next step is a broadcast. So let's talk about how we use broadcasts. So we've got people to opt in. Yes, so the reason I get people to do this is that now outside of 24 hours, you've specifically opted in for this sequence, right? In fact, I'm going to build the next sequence first, and then we'll come back to using the one-time notification. That would make more sense because I can subscribe you to a sequence. So let's look, team onboarding. We've just made our opt-in. Let's make day 5. Now we've got day 1. Well, you know, we've got tasks in each one, day 4. In fact, I'll just show you what this looks like. So I'm previewing that. Day 4, make this post on your social media. Wow, so excited about something I've just committed to. We'll reveal all soon. Contact another 5 people. Right, at the bottom of this message, I've put a button. Please tap "Got it" below so I know you're taking action. Why would I put a button on this message? What's my purpose for putting a button on a message when actually I've already given you the content? No? Right, 24-hour window, button. If I click "Got it," it has a response. So there is a message response from this. So what we're doing is we're keeping our 24-hour window open. Yeah, so you're opting in for the next step. And there we go. I've showed this one very specifically. Yeah. It really doesn't matter what we put after this. Yeah. To extend the 24-hour window. I'm so proud of you all right now. So let's have a look. We're going to go back to our team onboarding sequence. And look at this. I can actually see these 3 dots on the end on here. If I click on that, I can rename it, duplicate it, share just this flow as like a JPEG, copy it to somewhere else or delete it. I'm going to duplicate it. I don't need to start from scratch every time. So now I've got day 4 copy. I'm going to click that. Day 5. And edit just behind my head. And here we go. Here's an exact copy of day 4. And you see, this is what I've actually put in place. And I'll zoom in a little bit. So here's the day 4 message, which we're going to edit. Here's a GIF. At the moment, I've got it with a smart delay. Now, this is a pro feature, but I'll show you how you can use this on just a free account. So smart delay of 1 minute. We can have hours, days, whatever we like on here. I had this set before at about 12 hours. Later on, just checking in to make sure you've completed today's task. Tap your answer. Done it? Not yet. I'm keeping engagement, so we've engaged twice during the day. I've just rolled my 24-hour window on by another 12 hours. And there's more accountability. All right, so this is how it's set up. Now let's just go and edit this first message. I've already got the text I want to put in, so I'm just going to go and copy day 5. Come on to here. And there we go. There's day 5 done. So now I've got a 5-day sequence that I've already built. As I say, tonight is not really about building, but it's quite cool to know that if you've got very similar steps, that you can just duplicate it. So if every day I want to, you know, just change certain elements of it, so I'll put a different one in. And then publish it. So let's have a look at a sequence now. And then once we've done the sequence, we'll come back to a broadcast. And everybody that has already scanned the QR code, so Veronique's saying, great, but then we need our team to join our business page. So right at the start of our opt-in, if you remember, opt-in. So you get your team to scan this, message your page with the word onboard, or scan your QR code. They're now opted into your page. They're in your funnel. Yeah, it's that simple. They don't need to join your business page. They need to opt in to be your subscriber. Yeah, and the only thing they're opting in for is not all the pre-qualification or the products. They're only opting in for this. Individual people, individual journey. That's what bots are all about. Everyone doesn't go through the same thing. I literally never use welcome messages because I send no one to the page. I send them to very specific parts of the page. Tomorrow, we're going to absolutely blow your mind with what happens with ads. And literally, you've got the best guy in the business showing you what you can do with ads. You do not want to miss it because people pay thousands to see this. Yeah. So yeah, opt into the bot. There's loads of ways you can do it. But I started going on about tomorrow. Let's deal with today, shall we? Sequences. We've got our content together. So when you first go there, don't have any sequences. So let's create a new sequence. And this is going to be our onboarding sequence. And at the moment, it pre-fills this with all these things, which let's just get rid of a lot of them. And we're going to use this button to create a new message. And this pops up. Now, the way that I'm going to structure this sequence is we're going to send a broadcast the night before. So let's say everyone's starting 9 a.m. Monday. We're going to send a broadcast 6 p.m. Sunday night saying, are you ready to go? Yeah? So we're going to send this. And you see here, just on the left, we schedule these. So do I send it after one day? No, I want this to go immediately when our first message goes straight away when somebody subscribed to our sequence. I'm going to set the time. I'm going to send it between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. We can do it any day, but on this case, it's going to be a Monday. So I just want to do this. If I'm actually going to send my sequence send my message on a Sunday night, which subscribes everyone, I don't even need to specify which day because it will automatically go the next morning. So let's just put it in for everyone so that you can go through it. And then update that schedule. And then we're going to select an existing flow. So here we are, team onboarding, day 1. Then the only thing I need to do is turn it on. Next thing, after 1 day, 1 day equals 24 hours. So that's why we want the engagement further on. And we'll send this, I think, send this at any time, because realistically, what's going to happen, let's stick with what we're doing. Let's keep it simple. So after 1 day, between 8 and 9, bear in mind that people have had a message, they might not have clicked on it straight away, they've had another message later on. Everyone's within that 24-hour period, so they're all going to get these messages. Team onboarding, day 2. Turn it on. After 1 day. It's in between 8 and 9. Update. Select existing. Day 3. Is this making sense? Pretty straightforward stuff. For 1 day, I'm not going to put the timing on this one. Let's just get it in. Day 4. If anyone's seen my 3-day challenge setup, it works exactly the same way. Team onboarding, day 5. So there we go. Those are all turned on. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to amend these timings so that when you guys get to test this out yourself, you get one message after another. So I'm just going to go in and amend some of these timings. You'll get, what's going to happen is you're going to get quite a lot of, you can get all the follow-ups. In 24 hours, you can get a follow-up from every single day. So that wouldn't normally happen. So when you get to test this, you're going to get this first message. A minute later, you're going to get this follow-up message, which is, hi, John, just checking in to make sure you've completed day task. Tap your answer. If you've put, done it. I've done it as 5 days. Just you can have it as many days as you like, to be honest. Awesome. Catch you tomorrow for your next task. I've just rolled the 24-hour window on. Yeah. Yeah, it's 5 days because I chose to do 5 days. Simple as that. You could make it 3 days. You can make it 5 days. You can make it 7 days. Whatever, whatever process you would take your team through to onboard them. If you're doing a product challenge, make it between 3 and 5 days, because that's the sweet spot to get somebody to be really engaged and then to buy something. So let's say you are doing a weight loss challenge. If people have stopped eating Domino's and drinking a bottle of wine every night for 3 days, they're seeing a result. If you make it a 28-day challenge, hardly anyone's going to make it to the end of 28 days. Yeah, 3 to 5 days for a challenge with an upsell. For your onboarding, a little bit different because people are there for a reason and it's just there to help them out. There's no real sales process with it. So where was I? Let's go back to, I'm going to just make the amendments on here. So this is what you're going to see as you go through. It'll wait 1 minute and then it will send this. But when you opt into this, because the rest of the messages have got a 24-hour delay, tomorrow around this time, you're going to start getting pinged with a load of messages. So is it worth me just going and changing all these now? In fact, what I'll do is, I'm going to just delete these for now so you don't get a load of messages, because that's going to be right during tomorrow's training. If they don't respond at all, so Isa's just saying, what if they don't respond when they check they've done it? Well, they're still within the 24-hour window. If they've clicked that first button in the morning, they're still going to be within the 24-hour window. If they don't click anything at all, then they're out of the 24-hour window and they're not going to receive anything. But, you can't force people to be engaged. If you've got people on your team who just don't do anything, then I don't imagine they're going to be on your team or in your business for very long. Yes, it's actually set up, great point, it's set up for the user's time zone. So if you've got users all over the world, it's not going to go at 8 o'clock in the morning, whatever time you're in. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, whatever time they're in, which is quite handy. Because I find that messaging people at 3 in the morning tends to upset them. I've tried. So I'm just setting this so you don't get bombarded with messages. And then day 5. So if you haven't already, make sure you've either clicked that QR code, or if you've already messaged the Messenger Bootcamp page yesterday, message it now with the phrase onboarding. And then you can go through this sequence. Just check some of these. We've agreed that the person needs to have Messenger. If they click on the URL and don't have Messenger, what happens? they need to have Messenger. Simple as that. Bear in mind that the vast majority of the civilized world has Messenger. There are a few people that don't. Not what you can do with them with regards to this automation. It's on Facebook Messenger. They need to have Facebook Messenger to do this. So let's go back to our sequence, onboarding, and I'm going to change this. So this is going to be immediately. And then just so you can get this, I'm going to change this so you get these every minute. If they fall out of the 24-hour window, then yeah, you can subscribe them back in. I mean, there's ways of putting people back in at the place that they left, but then it, you know, we're starting to get a little bit complicated with that. So I've just updated that. So those of you that are going to go through this, you're going to get a message every minute once we subscribe you. Let me find your opt-in again. The page is called Messenger Bootcamp. I'm going to try and find. The opt-in or URL. Copy it. And so I'm pasting this into this conversation. Click on the text, yeah? So when you see this m.me link, click on the text of it and not any preview image that's underneath it, right? Because that won't work. So click on the text of the link, nothing else. I can see lots of, yeah. So I can see underneath, depending on what you're looking at, if you're on desktop, there's a preview image. Just click on the link, it ends in 1578. Click on that and you'll be able to go through it. Give people a second to go through that. And then I'm going to get on to broadcasting. So we're going to go back to our flows, because this is how I always do it. There are a couple of ways of doing it, but I'm going to show you how I do it. So I'm going to make a flow called a pre-challenge broadcast. Now, mega important. So I'm going to wait till it all. If they don't answer today, well, do you know, it's a daily challenge. You know, if they're not bothering to engage with it for 36 hours, then I'd imagine what will happen is they'll get a couple of messages at once because it's kind of set that way. So content type. The message type is onboarding. We're going to use our one-time notification. All right, really, really, really important. The one-time notification that we set up at the start of this, you can call it whatever you like, the content type is that. So we're specifically sending a message to people who have specifically opted in. Are you in? Add button. Oh yeah. Okay. So I've had the button. So yeah. Check this out. Actions, action, subscribe to sequence. When we looked at actions yesterday, all sorts of different stuff we can do, but we are going to subscribe to a sequence. When you click on this, it will give you a list of the sequences you've made. Onboarding. Right? And I publish it. Now let's go to broadcasting. Remember, people think that we've got this, I can broadcast my entire list all the time. Remember those tags. Unless what you're doing fits one of those tags, outside of 24 hours, you cannot broadcast whenever you like, which is why we always think about how are we going to re-engage. You can make as many one-time notifications as you like, yeah? So we've got two options. We can either build a new flow or we can broadcast from a flow, and that will take an exact copy of something we've made. So broadcast from the flow, team onboarding, pre-challenge broadcast. There we go. Click on this, it's onboarding. I don't need to do anything else with this at this point. So Edward is saying, after having all of this, what's the proven method you used already for prospects to subscribe in the chatbot? Lead magnet, or you may have other proven means. I pretty much exclusively do Facebook ads. That's just for my business. Lead magnets work incredibly well. So again, it depends what you're getting people in for. If it's a new team member, you shouldn't have to persuade them to do it. It's for their benefit. So we've got just on the top here of the screen, broadcasts, that's the message itself. Settings. We're going to say it's non-promotional because we're using a tag. Yeah? If it's promotional, I'd only be able to send it to people within the last 24 hours. I can send anything I like within 24 hours, within reason. Don't send anything dodgy. We're not going to get into what a lead magnet is now. That's taking us off down a completely different route. So non-promotional, we need to tick this. Targeting, condition, one-time notification is onboarding. This broadcast is going to go to 25 people. That's you. That's you that's just opted into this. So this broadcast is going to go specifically to those people that have opted in for this. You ready? I'm going to send now. You're going to get the message, and let's have a go at the sequence. Ready to go? Give it a thumbs up. I want to see some thumbs up before I hit send now. Yeah, that'll do it. Broadcast is sent. And then I can have a look at this and I can see it's not very many people. So as I keep refreshing this, it's gone to 40, it's been sent 14, delivered to 2, click 2, and keep on refreshing it and see. It's gone to all 25, 12 I've got it now. Facebook, yeah, tomorrow I'm going to show you exactly. And honestly, if you're interested in lots of traffic, I'm going to show you some mind-blowing stuff tomorrow. So there we go. Everybody's got it. Only 17 of you have clicked it. 19 of you have read it. Look at all the stats I've got here. I like the way Windows pointing to a thumbs up. Was that, yeah. It's gone to 25 of you, only 22 of you read it. So let's have a look at the sequence now. Back to automation, back to sequence. Onboarding, 21 of you have subscribed to it. And you're getting the first message. And that's how we set up a sequence. So your flows are that chain of messages, but we can set up a sequence to go every day, every hour. You know, we can do whatever we want. And this you can do on a free account as well. Yeah, exactly. You've opted into the sequence. You're within the 24 hours. Paola, I've set this up just so that you can get the messages, not in the way it would actually work. So normally you'd press, you know, those engagements are there so that you press the button and my 24-hour window is open so I can send you the next message. So, Edward, what I was saying before is over the weekend, I'm going to be putting a lot of stuff together for you. There's a ton of stuff which we're going to come back with you, and there will be an opportunity for you to have absolutely everything that's built and more over this week that you will be able to get your hands on. But I'm not going into that right now. There's an awful lot of it. So I can see you going through the sequences. Yeah, so basically, if you wanted to do this without the broadcasting, I was just showing, you know, because people want to know how broadcasts work. What you could do is say, when you're ready to start this process, here's a link that you could click. So, you know, part of me helping you getting set up to be successful in your business is when you're ready to get started, click this link and it will take you through, it will just put you straight into the sequence. Yeah. So it's not to do with broadcasting the night before and everyone goes at the same time. It's kind of evergreen. As soon as somebody joins your team, here you go. When you're ready to start taking action, press this. Yeah. So there's loads of ways you can do this. But I wanted to show you the sequence way because I think it works very well to demonstrate broadcasting using tags, the basic way of using tags and stopping your page getting in trouble, and how to put the sequence together. And if you want to play around with that for a product or a service challenge, which works incredibly well, that is a lead magnet. Someone's asking, you know, you're asking what's a lead magnet? That could be a lead magnet. Come and do my free weight loss challenge for 3 days. You know, you can have loads of people opt into that. They've started seeing a result at the end of day 3, upsell them to a product. You know, they're really engaged. Beast mode, baby bot, you got it. Do we have any questions on that? What questions have we got from today's? We're just under the hour, so we're absolutely bang on. Yeah, Veronique, you received all the messages at the same time because if you watch, I changed it all so that you receive all the messages just so you can go through them. In reality, you would have them set to deliver every day, but I didn't want you to have to wait 5 days to go through the sequence. So remember, tomorrow, really, really exciting because we're going to have Vincenzo back. And this man is an absolute legend when it comes to Facebook ads. For those of you that have done ads before, he's going to blow your mind at the stuff you haven't been doing. For those of you that have not done ads before, it's going to absolutely scare the life out of you just how targeted these can be. It's ridiculous. We were in Lisbon a couple of months ago, and this was a big wow moment. And those people paid thousands for this. Yeah, you do not want to miss it. Yes, you can see exactly who's clicked on buttons. I'll show you that in a second. So tomorrow, I'm going to show you, and again, this is so cool. I'm going to show you what you can do if you take building bots to the absolute limit. I'm going to show you some of the stuff that we are doing, and that's going to blow your mind with the possibilities. We're going to show you how, from the absolute master, how to create an ad. We're going to show you the absolute ninja way of connecting it to your bot so that it's the very, very best user experience. Yeah? So we're totally finishing on a massive high.
Yeah. Ready for tomorrow.
Yeah. Anything you want to say, Vincenzo? I mean, you've got a lot to live up to now.
Yeah, and all is here. All is back.
We're in Rome, just eating spaghetti.
Pizza.
Pizza. I don't know what we're having.
All right. As ever, we'll do a little bit of a Q&A at the beginning of the next session. There's usually hundreds of comments on these, so it's pretty much impossible for me to go back and try and answer everybody's questions. But I do have a look at them, and if there's something which I think is really useful for everyone, I will definitely cover it right at the start of next session. Tomorrow, you really do not want to miss it. It is going to be legendary.
Vamos.
Okay. Right, we're going to end this live now. Thank you so much again, everyone. Great to see you. Thanks for being here, and I'll catch you tomorrow.